volunteering is not a guarantee. Good evening and welcome to Icu TV Menus. We take a look at top stories making headlines. Health Minister says volunteering is not a guarantee for employment. Musokotwane comments Adesina's transformative decade at AfDB. President Hichilema donates 10 heifers and 200,000 kwacha to brethren in Christchurch. In international news, floods kill over 150 in central Nigeria and thousands displaced. In sports news, Mweemba urges Copper Queens to approach South African friendly with determination. I am Mweemba Margaret, and now the news in details. Health Minister Elijah Muchima has clarified that volunteering in the public health sector does not constitute a compulsory route to securing government employment. Addressing the media during a briefing today, Sunday morning, Mr. Muchima questioned the recent stance taken by the Resident Doctors Association of Zambia, suggesting that the association may be advocating on behalf of volunteer doctors who are not necessarily part of its official membership. His remarks came in response to a statement released by RDAZ on Friday, 30th May, in which the association announced that volunteer doctors would halt their services starting Monday, 2nd June 2025. While acknowledging the value of volunteerism, Mr. Muchima said those opting to withdraw from service are exercising their rights and are free to do so, stressing that, however, participating in volunteer programs does not compel the government to offer permanent employment. He assures that government remains committed to prioritizing volunteer health workers during recruitment process in accordance with the directive from the head of state. Mr. Muchima further reveals that discussions with RDAZ leadership are planned aimed at addressing concerns and fostering a respectful and solution-oriented dialogue.
Sympathizing with their colleagues who haven't yet been employed. We are explaining that because of the fiscal space, we can't employ everyone at the same time. That's your decision as an individual. I don't know how the association is coming in. Have these volunteers become their members? Do they already prescribe or what is membership? Subscribe. Yeah, that's good English. Do they subscribe to the association? Are they their members? Yet, for them to speak on their behalf. As we say, it's volunteering. It's not only doctors. We have got nurses. We have got community health workers throughout the whole country. They provide free services. And some of those are community through Global Fund. We are employed some of them. Right now we have 11,000. We have been talking to our colleagues to increase the number, at least even to 50. Because we have a lot of volunteers, and we say thank you to all those who are helping. As I said, it's about life saving. It's about your commitment. This is a very noble career that looks at life saving. If one feels I can't do anything, let me just stay and wait until.
Musokotwane comments Adesina's transformative decade at AfDB. Finance Minister Dr. Musokotwane delivered a warm vote of thanks to outgoing African Development Bank President Dr. Adesina, praising his impactful leadership during the 2025 annual meetings. He highlighted key achievements under Dr. Adesina's tenure, including a capital increase from 93 billion to 318 billion, over 102 billion US dollars in speculative lending and innovative financial strategies such as the first hybrid capital insurance among multilateral development banks. Dr. Musokotwane also recognized the success of the High Five development priorities, which have improved the lives of more than 565 million people across Africa. He concluded by welcoming the incoming president, Dr. Sidi Odita, expressing confidence in his ability to continue the bank's transformative agenda.
DG of WTO. May I invite the Governor of Zambia, Mr. Sitembeko Musokotwane, to read the commendation resolution.
Thank you very much, Secretary General, Madam Chairperson, outgoing President, dear governors, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here to read a vote of thanks of the Board of Governors to Dr. Akinwumi Adesina, the outgoing President of the African Development Bank. We thank him for the exceptional leadership, vision, and strategic acumen with which he managed and led the affairs of the bank during his tenure. We thank you, Dr. Adesina, for the remarkable results obtained by the bank group during your tenure. Those were presented to us a few days ago, and we thank you for the fact that you spared no effort in expanding the bank's global presence, convening power, and normative influence in the international community, including participation in the G7 and G20. We therefore offer heartfelt gratitude and appreciation for the work accomplished and the milestones achieved, which include the transformative agenda centered on the High Five priorities, which together impacted the lives of over 565 million people across the continent. The successful mobilization of 23 billion US dollars in the last 3 replacements.
Higher Education Loans and Scholarships Board launched a 6-month discount campaign for student loan repayment. The Higher Education Loans and Scholarships Board has initiated a 6-month discount campaign running from June to November 2025 to encourage the repayment of matured student loans. Beneficiaries who settle their loans in full during this period will receive 20% discount on their outstanding balances. This initiative aims to enhance loans recoveries, ensure the sustainability of student loan scheme, and make higher education more accessible. Higher Education Loan and Scholarship Board Chief Executive Officer Dr. John Machai emphasized that both individual beneficiaries and employers can take advantage of this offer, with terms and modalities for such arrangements to be discussed and agreed upon with higher education loans and student and scholarship bonds rather. The campaign is part of the higher education loan and scholarship board's broader efforts to promote loan repayment and sustain the student loan scheme. We now take our first set of commercials. We have more news after this.
Did you know that you've got the right to complain against any radio or television broadcast? Did you also know that every radio or television station has an obligation to respond and address your complaints when aggrieved? The first step is to complain to the station not more than 3 months after the broadcast took place. It is expected that the station will respond reasonably to you, that is within 14 days. If not satisfied, then escalate your problem to the Independent Broadcasting Authority.
We're at Mass Media Complex, Ali King Carter Road,
PO Box 32475, Lusaka, or call us on +260 211 250589 or visit our website at www.iba.org.zm.
IBA, promoting ethical and professional broadcasting.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. In our local stories, President Hichilema donates 10 heifers and 200,000 kwacha to Brethren in Christ Church. President Hakainde Hichilema has commended the Brethren in Christ Church for its significant contributions to education, healthcare, and food security, particularly highlighting its role during last year's drought. During a worship service at Choma Secondary School grounds, the President donated 10 heifers to support the church's agricultural initiatives and enhance food production. Additionally, Information and Media Minister Cornelius Mwitwa announced a donation of 200,000 kwacha to the church, underscoring the government's commitment to fostering partnerships that drive national development. In his sermon titled God's Mandate for His People, Brethren in Christ Church National Overseer Bishop Charles Nsemani urged Christians to be productive and effect positive change in society, emphasizing that hard work should be inspired by God's grace. Livingstone Sesheke Road set for full reconstruction under PPP module. The Zambian government has announced plans to fully reconstruct the Livingstone Sesheke Road under a public-private partnership module. Infrastructure Minister Charles Milupi confirmed that private sector interest has been strong with discussions underway to finalize the partnership. The 212-kilometer stretch, part of the vital 10-meter corridor linking Zambia to Namibia and Botswana, is estimated to cost around $120 million to upgrade to international standards. In the interim, the Road Development Agency and Zambia National Service have commenced rehabilitation works on the worst section to improve safety and traffic flow.
The Livingstone Sesheke Road is not just a local route. It's an international trade link connecting Zambia to the Walvis Bay port in Namibia and further into global markets. That is why government continues to prioritize this key stretch.
So now we are appealing to the government to speed up the reaction for at least to put full tarmac the road so that we can move quickly. Otherwise, we appreciate what they have done so far. At least now we are easy to drive to Sesheke, although there are some bit of challenges during rain season. There are too much waves and slippery in some places.
Following President Hakainde Hichilema's strong push for regional trade, Namibia has now officially handed Zambia land near Walvis Bay to build a dry port, a gesture that speaks to growing trust and shared goals between the two countries. The road from Sesheke to Livingstone is the backbone of that link. And while full reconstruction to bituminous standard will follow under the public-private partnership, immediate works are already underway through the Zambian National Service. Minister of Infrastructure Charles Milupi, who has been regularly inspecting progress, indicated that the road is being rehabilitated to all-weather gravel to make it usable now, while the PPP process is finalizing. Earlier this year, traditional leaders said the poor condition of the road had become a major concern for travelers and traders. That concern is now being addressed through a phased solution that focuses on impact while long-term investment is secured. Zambia is actively positioned itself as a land-linked country. The Sesheke-Livingstone route is central to unlocking the Wevis Bay, Ndola-Lubumbashi corridor and creating another flow for trade and industry. Government remains committed to delivering infrastructure that supports economic growth, lowers transport costs, and opens the country to regional opportunities.
Army urges warrant officers to steer clean of politics. Warrant Officer Class 1 and Army Sergeant Major Monday Nonde has urged warrant officers to refrain from participating in active politics, warning that such involvement is a serious breach of Army regulations. Speaking during a cocktail event hosted by Copperbelt Unity at Kalewa Garrison on Friday, Mr. Nonde highlighted the importance of upholding the Zambia Army's professionalism and safeguarding its reputation as it fulfills its duty to defend the nation's sovereignty. Meanwhile, retired WOI Desmond Chinda, formerly the regimental sergeant major at the school of Meanwhile, retired WOI Desmond Chilinda, formerly the regimental sergeant major at the school of Otaril, commended Army commands for including retired officers in key events, noting that their continued presence provides valuable guidance and support. You are still watching ICU TV menus. We take a short break, and coming up next is international and sports news. Stay tuned.
I've been waiting to hear from you. And I've been watching over you. When you woke up this morning, I was ready to hear from you, but you woke up and chose to devote your time to the multitudes that couldn't be less bothered by your misery. I knew you when you took your first breath, knew you when no one else did. I stood by you on your first day of school, and stood by you when you felt burdened by the troubles of this world. I knew you, my child, and I was there for you through it all. I've been watching over you, and I've been listening as you speak. When you wake up each morning, I wait and listen, hoping you would let me in on the plans you have set for the day. Why won't you just let me in and have me be a part of your life? Because, my child, I've been watching, hoping that you will invite me in and let me be there with you every step of the way, trusting that I know what's best for you and would never lead you astray. I've been listening to every little wish you make. And I've been waiting on you though. Waiting for you to finally finish those public charades you pull in my name so that we can finally have a heart-to-heart, you and I. Waiting for you to welcome me into that very heart you've already deemed irredeemable so that I may renew it. Waiting for you to finally listen to all the things I say to you on a daily basis, the pleas, the warning, the advice. My child, I am still waiting. Holding on to the fear of losing you, I wait and wait. Hoping that you'll be ready though before it is too late, because my child, I've been listening to you make wishes about how you want to be rich by 24, married by 26 and crowned best of the best by 30, wondering how exactly you think you've got it down all on your own. I've been waiting to hear the part where you finally mention my name, the part where you mention that you're gonna trust me, the part where you shout, I have a Father in heaven who will guide me through it all, clearing the path before it is even in sight and illuminating it so my feet may not falter. A Father who will not only show up, but show off with me. I am still waiting. Waiting with the hope that you'll be ready before it is too late. Let me in so that we can finally have that heart-to-heart, you and I. Waiting with the hope that you'll be ready before it is too late. But I'm still waiting.
Welcome back. In international news, floods kill over 150 in central Nigeria and thousands displaced. Severe flooding caused by heavy rains have claimed the lives of more than 150 people across central Nigeria, displacing thousands and leaving widespread destruction in its wake. Entire communities are submerged, with residents struggling to salvage belongings from their destroyed homes. Rescue and relief efforts are ongoing as authorities brace for more rainfall in the coming days.
The flood took members of this community by surprise. Basically, it was at 7 o'clock in the morning when the water started rushing and ripped through this community. We were told that there was a small drain running through the community, and when the water started coming, what they were seeing was bodies flowing from communities upstream. What we're seeing right now is the recovery effort being done by members of this community, hoping that they can find bodies to give a decent burial or salvage what they can from the remnants of their homes. Here, what we see are people digging through the rubble and debris of what used to be a home. Many people are telling us that they barely escaped the floodwaters with the shirts on their backs. We met a woman who lost 7 of her children. We are also told that many of the victims of this disaster are just moving about. Some of them couldn't even access internally displaced persons camp, let alone access any aid from the authorities. So that's the situation right now, but authorities are assuring that very soon disaster relief will come their way. But for many, with over 300 houses swept away by the floods, they will have to wait a longer time to find shelter to live in.
Explosions caused Russian bridge collapse, derailing trains and killing 7. 2 bridges in Russia, Bryansk and Kursk regions collapsed within hours on May 31st, 2025, resulting in the derailment of 2 trains and raising concerns of sabotage. In Bryansk, near the Ukrainian border, a road bridge collapsed on a Moscow-bound passenger train late Saturday night, killing 7 people and injuring at least 70 others. The train derailed after striking the debris, and emergency service responded promptly to rescue survivors. Hours later, in the neighboring Kursk region, a foreign train derailed when a railway bridge collapsed beneath it, causing a fire and injuring 3 crew members. Russian authorities are investigating both incidents as potential terrorist acts, with initial reports suggesting explosion as the cause. The incidents came amid heightened tension due to the ongoing conflict in Ukraine and just before scheduled peace talks between Russia and Ukrainian officials in Istanbul. We take a short break and stay tuned for more news in sports.
The Information and Communications University is driving the thrill for the nation in research and development. Enroll now for full-time and distance programs in the School of Engineering, Humanities, Business and Education. To apply, visit our website at www.icuzambia.net or call us on +260 211 221 662 or 0966 342 359. Sponsorship is available. Enroll now.
Welcome back. In sports news, Mweemba urges Copper Queens to approach South African friendly with determination. Football Association of Zambia FAZ President Keith Mweemba has urged the Copper Queens to treat their upcoming friendly against South Africa seriously, emphasizing teamwork across all positions, from goalkeeper to forward. He said it's about coordination, transitions and attitude. If we apply ourselves right, we can beat South Africa. Mweemba also pledged full support to coach Nora, promising structural backing from the FAS executive following their June 7th meeting. Zambia will face Banyana on June 3rd in Pretoria, aiming to sharpen tactics ahead of the 2025 WAFCON in Morocco. And that sports item brings us to the end of our main news. But before we go, a quick recap on the stories that made headlines. Health Minister says volunteering is not a guarantee for employment. Musokotwane commends Adesina's transformative decade at AfDB. President Hichilema donates 10 heifers and 200,000 kwacha to brethren in Christchurch. In international news, floods kill over 150 in central Nigeria and thousands displaced. In sports news, Mweemba urges Copper Queens to approach South African friendly with determination. Thank you so much for watching. For more news updates, stay glued to our Facebook page at Icu Tv and our website at icutvzm.com. Good night.